In this video, we are going to talk about iterating a little bit more, and we will have the opportunity to practice just on a basic scale. So the first thing is, what do you think would appear in the console based on this code? This is displayed just as you would see for a College Board. It says repeat 3 times, repeat 5 times, display sleepy, display cat. This would say sleepy, 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 sleepy cat. Sleepy, 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 sleepy cat. I should type it out for us. We would see sleepy 5 times, cat, and then that entire thing would be repeated 3 times. Okay, so we have our announcements, and as I mentioned before, we are going through sequencing in steps. So today we're going to finish with general iteration, then array review off canvas, iteration with arrays off canvas, array review on, and so on. So I wanted to do one quick question before talking about iteration. You can go ahead and read it. Now, there is one specific answer. I'm going to let you think about this one, and we'll get the answer in class. Okay, so we are going to open up a new editor, title it 1.08 Iterations AP. This is a great reminder that you should pause this video, rewind this video, do whatever you need, but you should be coding along. I'm going to open up the editor. Let's say 1.09. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to close my video. We are going to start iterating, and this is a review of last year's in Software 2. This is like our one review day for iteration. I'm going to make rectangles appear across the canvas. And I'll remind you that our for loop structure for doing this is for parentheses, and then inside the parentheses, we make a variable, check a condition, and increment. And then there's curly brackets outside. Okay, so if we wanted, we could say for var, I don't know, xpos equals, we could start it at a certain number. I'm going to add my curly brackets so I don't forget. Xpos equals maybe 40. We're going to keep going until xpos is, like while xpos is less than 400 the width. And I'm going to increment that I want xpos plus equal, I don't know, 50. I'm going to start with a console.log xpos. And I want you to see that it says 90. I'm just going to stop it for a second. It says 40, 90, 140, 190, 240, 290, 340, 390. So it is continuing. It starts at 40. And it says, okay, is 40 less than 400? Yes. So it consoled it. Then it added 50, and I got 90. Is 90 less than 400? Yes. So it consoled it. And it continued going until I got to 440, which was no longer there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a rectangle at X position, maybe like 20, 30, and as you can see, I have made a line of rectangles at the top of my canvas. I want to remind you that if we change the first number or the variable affects the starting position. I'm going to put it back to 40. I'm going to make this be 200. If I change the condition, changing the condition affects the end position. Put it back to 40, 400. And if I change the 50, if I make it 20, they're super close together. If I make it 100, they're farther apart. So changing, we'll just say changing the incrementing affects the space between. Now, I don't know if you can tell that my canvas and everything is getting a little glitchy. That's because I have a console.log in my for loop, and I would very strongly suggest commenting any of those out once you have made them. Comment out console.log statements in for loop to prevent crashing. Just because it is potentially going to print that console.log a lot and you don't want it to slow down your computer. Okay, so that is our first one that's going across. And we are briefly going to review a nested conditional. I'm going to save this and refresh. Okay, so I just refreshed because of those console.logs. I was really glitchy. So we are now just going to make one nested for loop. Nested for loop. And I'm going to walk us through it, and then we're also going to talk about it. So I'm going to make a for loop. So I set up everything. I think I'm going to call this var x equals, I'm going to start it at, I think I'm going to start it at 20. Don't forget that we put semicolons between these three parts. While x is less than 400 and x plus equal, let's do 40. So this is the first for loop. Inside of it, we can put a second one. So for var, I'm going to do y equals 20. Let's do y equals 30. Y less than 400, x, y plus equal, let's do 50. This is the second for loop. Now, just for a second, and I know this is going to get a little crashy, but I'm going to console.log. I'm going to say x is, and I'm going to add x to it. And I'm going to say y is, and I'm going to add y. And I want you to see what happens. Okay. Let's get to the beginning. It's already run so many times. Okay. X is 20, y is 30. X is 20, y is 80. X is 20, y is 130. You can see that x is staying 20 while y is going up. And then x moves to 60. And then the y goes back to 30 and keeps moving up. This is what's happening. It is starting at 20 and it's doing this entire column before it moves over. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to comment that out. Then we can make a shape. Ellipse, maybe I do x comma y, 50. And there we go. We cannot see the shape behind the rectangles that we had, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do 20. Okay, let me know what questions you have.